What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I am doing something that honestly, I probably should have done first, especially since this RX-8 video series is about me making sure that I can get past the stigmata of an RX-8 not being a reliable daily driver. So what I'm doing today is, well, something I probably should have done first, at least based on all the RX-8 YouTube owners. And I am installing a Sohn adapter for the RX-8, basically so I can run full synthetic oil. Well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and turn this camera around and show you what I have. What I'm installing today is a Sohn adapter kit, which if you guys aren't aware, it is basically a kit that will replace the factory windshield washer reservoir. Sorry, I had to think about that before I said it. And then from there, it'll have a separate windshield washer reservoir and then a reservoir specifically for premix. Now, if you guys aren't aware, the way the rotary motor works is that it's purposely designed to basically burn oil. It takes oil from the oil pan and inject it into the motor itself, and then that way it burns and keeps it lubricated, yada yada yada. But the downfall of that is, one, you can't use synthetic oil because synthetic oil is designed by by man not to burn, which is why you should not be running synthetic oils in the RX-8. Two, it's taking dirty oil and doing that, because basically you're using the oil from your oil pan. So what this adapter does, which honestly I feel like it's more of a bypass than an adapter, and I don't know why they call it Sohn. I don't know if the guy who invented it is named Sohn and that's why, but anyways, this sandwich is in between the factory OMP, which is the oil metering pump, which is what pumps the dirty oil from your oil pan into the motor. This bypasses that and takes from the reservoir, which we will be replacing, clean premix oil to burn in there instead. And then not only on top of that, we can now finally run synthetic oils. So yeah. A lot of people are aware of the kit that you can buy from this guy in Europe, where it's one windshield washer reservoir and one premix canister. The problem is he only works by email, even based off his website. And I emailed that guy at least 10 different times now with no answer. I eventually found this company, which I guess the company is okay. It's not, so far, not the best build. One, you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of see it, that the billet aluminum itself is two different colors. They're not even the same color. That's the first problem. The second problem is that the oil level sensor that they provide to let you know when you're running low on premix didn't even fit through this hole. So basically what I had to do is I had to take all of this apart. And sorry, I did this off camera. It was actually really concerning to me why this was not fitting. So I had to take this top piece off. There is this middle sandwich plate block adapter that I had to take off as well. And then I had to take apart the oil level sensor, stick it in because the head of it's too big, and then reassemble it from the inside. And then I added Teflon to all the ones that did not have an O-ring. And even then, I don't fully trust the O-rings that's seated in there. So I may go back in if I start to see any type of leak, go ahead and re-Teflon it myself. This kit also did not come with any lines, which you would think for a $700 kit, it would at least come with one line. So hopefully a 2-foot line that I ordered from O'Reilly's is good enough. That's going to go into here. And then from there is going to connect to the Sohn adapter. And then it is going to draw fresh premix oil from this back canister, which at least they include labels for which one's which. And then you can also go ahead and retain the factory windshield washer fluid. But in reality, I wish they would have made the front canister the same size as this, and then I'm sorry, the back canister the same size as the front canister, because I'd rather have more premix and windshield washer fluid. That's just me. So yeah, not the best build quality in terms of parts, especially for being almost $1,000, at least as a whole kit. So I'm not even going to mention their name just because I don't recommend this kit, but it sucks because they seem to be the only ones on the market right now that is offering the kit for the 20-plus-year-old car. Anyways, I'm babbling on. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. All right, so this part should be the simplest part of the whole install. You're going to take these two 10mm bolts off from right here and right here. You're going to want to disconnect this water hose from right there and then down there. I'll do that later. Basically, you're going to go ahead and pull out. It is going to be stuck inside that little hole from this little grommet. Then you're going to go ahead, take off this hose, and then this sensor or pump, I guess, sensor and pump, You're going to transfer it over to the new tank and then bolt the new tank to here where the supplied bolts that they came with. Next up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the O-ring and the washer motor from the other tank, which FYI is not an easy task. It just pulls out, but man, this thing is held in there. So you're just going to transfer the O-ring over and then the new washer pump over, and then you are all set to mount this up to the factory wall. Okay, pro tip, use a little bit of wheel bearing grease to edge up the side of the gasket, and then a little bit on the motor itself, slid right in. Other than that, you are going to be prying this thing forever. Hopefully I didn't damage this trying to push it in, but hey, we'll find out once we put it all back together. So what we do next is that we take the supplied hardware, mount it to there, and then mount it to the firewall. All right, guys, so there is one screw that is longer than the other. This is actually the shorter one. The longer one, I believe, will go into here since it technically indents in. That's probably to make up for the space. So it also comes with a little spacer right there. So we just got to put that in there. It also comes with this little white chuck that's going to go ahead and fit there into the factory setting to support the weight of the mount or the canister itself. Alright guys, sorry, I should have been recording sooner, but I actually was just trying to see how everything works. Basically, once you have the battery removed, there's three 10mm bolts that you have to take apart. This will be 1, 2, and then 3. Not sure why everyone goes into the fender one, but you can reach it just from as long as you have the right size sockets, I guess. And then from there, you're going to want to take this keyway, which I did accidentally push in a little bit too far. So this, you're going to have to mate up with the factory block. There's something in there that this is going to have to kind of key into, and then from there, that it basically lets you know, or lets it turn, and that's how it's going to get the oil, the premix from the new one. So yeah, let me go ahead and just get the 10mm bolted back in. I have disconnected this line so I can move the oil lines to this side right now. Hopefully that's not putting a little too much stress on it, but we'll see once everything's bolted up. I may have to heat them just to kind of make them a little bit more bent, just so they kind of form around here now instead of forming this way. So yeah guys, sorry, this isn't really a DIY. I'm going to post a link to where I figured out how to do this, but yeah, you really don't need to take off the wheel, man. You guys can just reach it all from right there. Oh, and then just make sure you pinch off the coolant line so you don't lose any coolant. All right, everything is back together. That went together extremely simply. It took me about an hour, or it took RJ about an hour and a half. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and fill this with premix. And then from here on out, I'm going to have to figure out a way to hook up this oil level sensor so I know when I'm low. But in the meantime, this one will take about 1.9, should be about a quart or two. So get this filled up, and then there you go. I can finally start running full synthetic oil. So forgive the loud noises real quick. I've had the car running for about an hour or so now, just to make sure there's no leaks. And so far, so good. I don't see any leaks coming from the line. None coming from any of the seals where the sandwich plate meets the thing. You know what, let me go ahead and turn off this car real quick. It's been running long enough. Okay, let's try this again. Take 2. So I've had the car running for about an hour or so now, and yeah, no leaks so far. None coming from the fitting at the back where the premix will go into the Sohn adapter. Yeah, no leaks that I see. Obviously no leaks from the windshield washer fluid. I did test the windshield washer fluid and that is working. So lucky me, I didn't mess up the motor itself. No leaks coming from any of the block off plates. I still have yet to hook up the low oil level sensor. I'm going to go ahead and probably do that here in just a little bit. But I just wanted to show you guys that, hey, not bad. Fitment's a little off on some of the parts. Colors are a little bit mismatched, but overall, I guess we'll go ahead and see how it works. I'll probably do a 1 week time skip here in just a little bit, just to give you my idea. and just to see if that's actually working the way it's supposed to be working. I have about 2 quarts of ID Mitsu Rotary premix in there right now. It takes about 1.9 liters, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what the website is stating, that is the capacity of the premix canister. But yeah, guys, so let's go ahead and do a 1 week time skip. All right, guys, so it's been about a week. Quick update. I finally did it. I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally have the oil sensor from the tank. I don't know if I can see it from underneath here. You can't see it. I finally have it routed. This is how the website tells me to route that in. To go ahead and route one of the wires to the red and white wire that's in the factory oil pressure sensor light, and then kind of like daisy chain it to the factory harness. Not how I expected it to go, but according to their website, this is how it needs to be connected. So the black and white wire stays normal. One wire from the sensor goes into the factory sensor, goes back up, and then the other wire goes into the factory harness itself. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to go ahead and pull this down right now. They say to test it by getting a stick or something to push down the level sensor that's in the tank to see if the light goes off. I'm going to need help for that one. So let me go ahead and get that down on the ground real quick, and we'll get that sorted out. All right. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if that oil pressure light. Okay, oil light is on. And it went away. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so we have that solved. So now all we got to do is just kind of run its course, see how long it takes. I'm going to obviously keep an eye on the level. I didn't burn very much from the 1 week of driving, maybe about 1/8 of that tank, maybe. So, all right. I'll definitely keep an eye on it, see how low it gets, and we'll go from there. But yeah, guys, this is the mod I should have done from the get-go to make sure that my car runs in tip-top shape. Preventative measures. Once again, if you guys aren't aware, the OMP Sohn adapter is what basically stops the factory OMP from pulling dirty oil from the oil pan to circulate into the combustion chamber, because the apex seals and all that need to be lubricated. And then even then, like, the dirty conventional oil can happen to cause like a lot of carbon buildup. So basically what this is doing now, instead of pulling from the oil pan, is going to pull from that reservoir right there, clean premix oil that's going to help prevent any carbon buildup. I'm probably going to want to do a fuel injection service cleaning here just to have any broken up carbon that's happened over the years before I took over this car. But anyway, guys, this is great. I can finally run full synthetic oil, and this will be a good way to tell if my OMP was even working or not. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, see if it was even pulling oil at all into the combustion chamber, and I'll know for sure if that thing gets any lower or empty if I forget to check it. But yeah, anyways, guys, I think this video's been long enough. So until next time, later.